Welcome to the show. Creative Universe Checkpoint Earth presents Union News. Don't trash yourself on the twin flame journey. The real twin flame work happens on the inside, and then it will guaranteed manifest outside. In this series of lives, I share about what that means for my union consciousness process to inspire you to find yours. It serves as a source for your almost daily twin flame news. Today on the show, we have Don't Trash Yourself on the twin flame journey. Yeah, because did you know that sometimes happens? People go do the real twin flame inner work with the key tool, 4 steps. They start to do it. They have support from the 9-point energy system with it too. They make progress. And they then dramatically go in the real twin flames direction. It starts to manifest for real. Sometimes they even truly arrive in the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union. That's what it's all about. Always, because that is the basis on which you can get the whole shebang, all the romance, the abundance, everything that you desire. Guaranteed. And that's what I pass on. But sometimes when people go in a direction, they suddenly step away from their own results. They trash themselves. And I don't want that for you. It's not necessary to trash yourself. So let's talk about that in a minute. But first we have the twin flame union consciousness wisdom of the day. There are 2 kinds of source love that play a role for twin flame union. Receiving God's love directly. And if that is not possible yet for you, compassion will embrace you until you can receive. 2 kinds of twin flame love. Receiving God's love directly. That's the secret sauce. To be with your twin flame. Experience the whole sexuality with your twin flame. Be loved back by your twin flame in a sustainable way. This is the trick. Receiving God's love. Because you are created by the divine directly. The 2 of you. That's the point of being twin flames. That's what that is. That's what that means. And the more you receive God's love directly, the more you are being what you are created as. Twin flames. Because you thrive in God's love. Whether you believe in God or not, because that doesn't matter. You can also say the universe. You can also say love. You can also say the divine, source, something higher. It doesn't really matter what you call it. You can call it nothing. But it's still the source of you and your twin flame, and you're directly connected to it. So it really doesn't matter. Receiving God's love more than you are now having and doing. That brings you naturally in the attunement of union, of being with your true twin flame. When you receive more and more and more of it, you can naturally be more and more and more with them, more sustainably, more lovingly, more without side effects. That's how it goes. That's the trick. If you wanted to have a trick, there it is. So there are 2 kinds of source love that play a role for twin flame union. Receiving God's love directly. But the point is, it can be so direct for people Because this is divine love. It's huge, it's incredibly loving, it's big, it's very different than what we are used to in our old lives of the personality ego that has some sort of personal like and love in some sort of way. It's not the divine love. And often that's also the reason why it can be like difficult to receive God's love directly, because we're not used to it. It's much bigger than, more pure than the personality ego's love that we were used to. It's really something else. It vibrates on another vibration frequency, right? And therefore, sometimes unconsciously, we just can't receive it. It's just not penetrating our heart. It's not coming into our manifested self. You unconsciously say no because it's so much more profound than the ego personality love, quote unquote, that you thought was love, that it can be hard to receive that directly. We're used to self-criticism. We're used to yeah, resisting and think that we do something great because we're resisting so well, but you're not receiving. You're not receiving God's love that is given for free. To replenish what is asking for love, screaming for love, begging for love. And God's love wants to replenish that with the satisfactory feeling of true softness, God's kindness, the fulfilling feeling of being filled with true value. And that's what wants to be given to you. Do you receive it? So, yeah, it can be really difficult sometimes. And when it is difficult for you to receive that directly, something else happens. And that's in this twin flame union consciousness wisdom of the day, the second kind of love that will be presented to you when you can't yet receive it directly. And that will be the compassion for that you can't receive yet. The soft, understanding, loving presence that's around you, that has patience, and leaves you to discover for yourself that this is actually what's going on and that you can open to God's love directly. It's patience for you to find that out. And it awaits that in silence with you until you're ready and you can open just a little bit so that you can let it in directly, just a little bit, and then more and more and more. And that's a compassion that is awaiting your opening for the true thing. And that will be present for you when you can't yet receive directly the big thing, the big love. So, two kinds of source love are available for anyone on the twin flame journey. So, may that be of help for you and of insight into what's going on for you and how you can move from the compassionate state maybe into the opening for the true receiving state, and then become aware that you sort of withdraw again in the compassion state. And it can go back and forth. So I hope that helps to give you some recognition about what is actually going on. Let's move on to the ACIM lesson of today. Of course, in miracles, ACIM is the method that the Christ Masters use to point out for us what the union consciousness is, as opposed to the separation consciousness that twin flames are about. And this union consciousness can be pointed out for you in lessons, for instance, that are in the book, of course, in Miracles, besides all the chapters that are about it too. And let's look at the lesson for today. It is light and joy and peace abide in me. You think you are the home of evil, darkness, and sin. You think if anyone could see the truth about you, he would be repelled, recoiling from you as if from a poisonous snake. You think if what is true about you were revealed to you, you would be stuck with horror so intense that you would rush to death by your own hand, living on after seeing this being impossible. There are beliefs so firmly fixed that it is difficult to help you see that they are based on nothing. That you have made mistakes is obvious. That you have sought salvation in strange ways, have been deceived, deceiving and afraid of foolish fantasies and savage dreams, and have bowed down to idols made of dust. All this is true by what you now believe. Today we question this, not from the point of view of what you think, but from a very different reference point, from which such idle thoughts are meaningless. These thoughts are not according to God's will. These weird beliefs He does not share with you. This is enough to prove that they are wrong, but you do not perceive that this is so. There's more to this lesson, but we stop here for now and talk about it a little bit. The rest of the lesson, just like all the show notes of this episode, are in my Patreon. They're there for you, a whole bunch of them in a row, with links to sources as well. You can become a member of my Patreon. You'll find the link in the description box below, but it is patreon.com/pej@creativeuniverse. So maybe that's for you. In April, that has now started, April 2025, we have a new deal for second tier members of Patreon. It's an awesome deal. I give so much money off of meeting me in regular sessions. It's amazing. So I like giving my Patreon members such deals. So there you go. Let's go back to ACIM. The lesson of the day: light and joy and peace abide in me. And we've seen that, according to this lesson, you think you are the home of evil, darkness, and sin. If you think if anyone could see the truth about you, he would feel repelled, recoiling you from you as if from a poisonous snake. And that is actually like the ego personality way of thinking. It thinks, well, if I'm really going to be honest, if the ego personality really is going to be honest, it needs to say, well, yeah, I have sort of wrong motivations, and I have dark thoughts. And yeah, I mean, that's more honest, you know? So maybe that's actually what I am. And I don't want to show that because that's going to be repelling. So I will just do something else with my personality, and I hope that's enough and it works. But if you would ask me what I truly am, yeah, I mean, maybe I then have to admit that I actually believe deep down that I'm sort of a bad, evil, devilish person or something, maybe, but with dark thoughts. And you think that that is very honest of you and very deep and very good that you can admit that and whatnot. And relatively speaking, that might be a little bit so, because it's more profound, you could say, to accept that you can be light and dark, right? That's more profound. But then ACIM actually says, no, mistake. Light and joy and peace abide in you. That's what you truly are. That's the most profound part of you. It's not like light and dark, but it's like, no, that's all in the ego personality realm. That's okay. But actually, what you are is like a whole department deeper or more foundational, more essential. You are the light itself, a twin flame, flame, light. The warmth and the light of the flame. That's what you are. That's what you truly are in spirit. And you are a spirit. I understand that we communicate because we have bodies. But you are a spirit. And accepting that brings you on the twin flame level. So that's crucial. And on that level, you are a warm, beautiful light and joy and peace. So this is like a fundamental misunderstanding. Do you see what that is about? Isn't it interesting? Like, I'm light and dark. Oh no, I was wrong. I was just much more foundational, actually. I'm a spirit that is light and joy and peace and warmth and a flame. That's what I am. Oh, misunderstanding. So this is a very basic misunderstanding that this whole course in miracles tries to establish for you, that you finally learn this completely. And lesson after lesson, 365 for every day of the year, one lesson that goes on. And a whole bunch of chapters, maybe like 34, maybe. I'm not sure actually. Whole bunch of chapters of explanation. It goes on and on and on and on about this misunderstanding that is like woven into our daily lives and into our work lives and family lives and twin flame lives and inner lives and outer lives. And we just do this misunderstanding over and over and over and over and over in so many forms all day long. And for union consciousness, for twin flame manifestation, for being truly with your twin flame sustainably, so that you can build a mission business, build a twin flame family, that needs union consciousness. And that's the other side of this misunderstanding. And you truly need to like move there with everything that you are and own. And that's why this is the lesson. Yeah. Because union consciousness lives there. And guess what is a good idea for twin flame sustainable development? Union consciousness. Isn't that the foundation for everything that can grow from there? Dating them, getting married with them, building a family with them, creating a mission life with them that is supported by a mission business. And it's all on top of union consciousness. That's what makes it sustainable. That's what makes it happen. So we need to bring you to union consciousness, and that's possible behind the screen, behind YouTube. That's my role. That's my thing. It's a coaching that I provide. So there you go. You would be welcome. So let's today have a look in one of my books, because A Course in Miracles is the book that holds the method of the Christ Masters. Now, I do co-create with them this consciousness work for Twin Flames. And but that does not mean that I don't have my own methodology. I do, and it's already published in books. And we're going to look into the book Twin Flames, Manifesting Your Abundant Life of Love. That's the paper book. Yeah, and there are like 3 books inside of it that you can get as ebooks. And this is from the Emerald Itinerary. I opened the book as if it was an oracle. And this was the segment that came out. Gold consciousness. Now, that is actually sort of, let's say, my wording for union consciousness. That is the foundation for Twin Flames. So there you go. And maybe it's like a far developed consciousness state of union. That's like gold consciousness is where we're like traveling together. We don't know yet fully what that is, because well, I'm in Harmonious Twin Flame Union, the consciousness state, since March 2020. And it's now 2025, April 2025. So that's a couple of years of growing inside of that I have been doing wonderfully, blessedly. Like the amount of profound healing and twin flame contact that came from it was well, there are no words that explain correctly how much and how deep and how profound and how real. I'm a completely different person. All the changes that were tremendous were better than good. It's like impossible to say how good, because it's so good. And in a sense, you will be doing that too. My clients will be doing that. They do already do that too. I brought 4 people, students of mine, to the consciousness state of Harmonious Union as well. And yes, for them, that started as well to have this beautiful wave of divine love, healing that entered themselves and their union and their twin flame at that point, and started to take them on this new part of the journey after the Harmonious Union consciousness state. And when you follow that far enough, more, further, eventually you keep on going with inner work that manifests outside in a new sort of way. Although you have arrived with your twin flame, you in a new sort of way keep on developing, and you see on the horizon like, oh, now we're going to this sort of a new like point on the horizon or something. And that's what I call gold consciousness. So there you go. Segment from my book called Gold Consciousness. The ultimate strategy, which is related to the 9-point energy system, a number code that works with energy, that is supportive of all the inner twin flame work that you can do with me. And you can study these things, what is this code? What is this energy work? What is the 9-point energy system? It's all in my books. And of course, that is the basis of my coaching. I developed this with Divine Mother for the last 15 to 20 years and tested it, and it works fabulously for students that go to their twin flame. So there you go. The ultimate strategy, as the advised order of the human energy points, is here to activate the blessings of gold consciousness, to be able to find you and give you a grounding for your processes in that endeavor. What will be activated is the structure of the consciousness that is meant here, that can be called the ultimate consciousness. It consists of parts that we will call the conscious, the unconscious, and the metaconscious mind. Our current norm is to have those form the dualistic brand, and the goal, if you will, is to guide them into the structure of the unionized brand. The conscious mind in both instances is the thinking process and the according choices we are very aware of in our awake state. The unconscious mind is the shadow of that mostly escapes us in the awake state. The meta-consciousness can be called the power to be able to change your consciousness from one brand or organization or program to the other. This change is a process that takes both time, because we're speaking of a brain chemistry change and an energy flow change, as well as timeless, because it is caused by a choice in the metaconscious power humans have in their soul source axis. The shift back and forth is a transformation that is experienced as all encompassing, completes all thoughts and feelings belonging to the one or the other conscious, depending on what shift back or forth one speaks of, that belong to the consciousness one is leaving before it completes and then cancels out the earlier program. This is the nature of such, no matter cultural connotations of thought reform, brainwashing, and so forth. This process sometimes tends to exude for some. Wow, yeah, so that's a whole thing, right? It explains something about consciousness. That we have like a couple parts, the conscious part, the unconscious part, the meta-conscious part. And like you could say like the conscious part is like the upper part of your brain. You can think clearly. But we also have an unconscious part that's like it's like the lower part of you. It's like in your body as well. It's like what comes out that you didn't count on, that you're not aware of. Oh, that came out of me. I didn't know that. That could come out of me. But we also have a meta conscious state. And that's the part of you that can choose. The part of you that can choose, okay, we're not going to stick in dualistic consciousness, conscious, unconscious, dualistic. No, we're going to shift. We're going to shift this whole shebang of conscious and unconscious into the direction that God points out for us on the twin flame journey with the correct twin flame tools and all that. We're going to shift that towards a unionized conscious field where unconscious and conscious become one. Unionized. That's the meta-conscious process in you that can choose that. And that's how you actually keep on shifting forward, 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 forward. So it's just an explanation of what's happening in twin flame inner work when you do it correctly. That's how that goes. And the point of it is, I'm just taking a few things out of this paragraph, right? To rephrase it so that I hope may become a little bit more understandable what it actually said. And the point of it is that is also being made here is that, well, But when you sort of change your consciousness, change your mind with the meta-conscious choice, that has, in some perspective, it has some sort of a scary connotation, a scary thought, a scary idea, perhaps, potentially, because it's like, yeah, but I'm going to shift my consciousness. Isn't that like brainwashing? Isn't that like thought reform? Is this safe, in other words? And that's a good question. It's only safe when it is in connection with the divine itself. That this shift happens. That is very close to your twin flame union because it's created directly by the divine. So it's not only safe, but it also goes in the direction that you want to go in, namely towards union and union consciousness. And then it's still a shift in consciousness that otherwise might sound scary. And in a certain sense, there's like a similar like mechanic going on, but the mechanic is used by something sacred. So that's what you may know to understand what's going on, to understand what this is. And this work and the ongoing shift first brings you into the harmonious twin flame union consciousness. And then, as I told you, you can keep on moving forward in a newfound way towards this new place on the horizon, towards gold consciousness, where this start of harmonious union consciousness starts to become fully fulfilled and gold and divine and sacred. That's where you're going with your true twin flame in a development that you can keep eternally, because that's what that is about. It's beautiful. I promise you that. And we are going to work towards that for you in the year group course that starts up on May the 1st, 2025. And that is going to be called Twin Flame Abundance Now. And you are invited. I'm looking for 9 people that want to be in that group that I will guide towards their twin flame union and beyond, towards gold consciousness, because it feels so good. It's like living in heaven. Who doesn't want that? There you go. You can already see something on the launch page because the launch is on May the 1st. In the description box below, you'll find the link to click on. But I can also tell you that it is creativeuniverse.earth/abundance now launch. So there you go. You're invited to the launch festivities because they're for anyone that wants to have something fun to do. We'll do a 5 to 6 day love game that I completely refurbished and made for you. That's for anyone. And it's completely free. But yeah, the group course starts then too. And that's a paid course. And you are invited to step into that around that time as well. So if that speaks to you, yeah, we begin with festivities. And then you can step into the gear group course, Twin Flame Abundance Now. Let's get some oracle guidance for today. With my own union and mission cards. Let's get them here. There they are. I don't know what version this is actually of the cards, but I made an even newer version. They will also appear soon, and I hope that you can buy them too. They really have all the cards, all the consciousness moments that you can be on in your journey towards that union consciousness. I got a card. Sometimes it sounds a little bit as if we're talking about mission, but you can also feel inside this for union. And did you know that mission is actually the secret pillar of union too? So if you already start to worry about mission, that is truly helpful for making your union come true. So this card sounds a little bit like mission. It sounds like this: the sum that needs to be made, and passing on how you can calculate what gives results. From the Builder series, the number builder, manifestation B1.4. And we see this, some sort of this energy ball filled with the numbers 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, which is a number that many people on the twin flame journey tend to see everywhere because it's such a beautiful, divine number, or angel number, as they sometimes say. Let's see what the book says about this card. Result is the title of this card. Well, that sounds good. Who doesn't want result? And remember that the actual topic of today is that people try to prevent their own result by, if it comes to them, saying no to it. By, if they got it, trashing it nevertheless. And that's not necessary, and I don't want that for you. So this card talks about the result, because it will come. It's guaranteed when you do the right kind of inner work with a true teacher in a group that is connected. Result. Let's read the text from the union meaning, and the mission meaning you can then read in the show notes on Patreon. Result comes from allowing it in under your conscious eye and being guided by your conscious, loving attention. Result comes when you first have felt the energy and translated into concrete statements about what you feel as the first step of the key tool. About what you feel is the first step of the key tool and what it teaches you, through which a healing magic comes into existence. This healing magic is placed between you and the other and forms a bridge. It is a relationship itself and also shows the value of it. When you can see that the healing that you do as a twin flame shapes and expresses the relationship, you get closer to result. Result is not something you desire for yourself. It is about your twin flame. He or she makes come true their own results via you. You are the catalyst, the transformer, the healer for your twin flame. It is not personal. It is not about you. Of course, this goes the other way around. The very same. This makes you free to ask high commitment from them in a relationship, because you see it is about the other person. High commitments give divine love as a result. The deeper well of love is being broached when you purify the space of unclear vibrations. You make possible and come true the result for the other by clearing the energetic space. You are expert in clearing space for your twin flame. so that they can heal themselves and go where their divine love source lies. You understand the role of your healing as twin flame in that light. You can assist others in getting clarity about reaching divine love in this way as well. What do people sometimes do when they get results with the true twin flame inner work in connection with a true twin flame teacher? Because they will rush towards more of the true twin flame and they will quickly go to their consciousness state of harmonious union, or at least that potential is very close by because you're surrounded by the loving help that wants to pour into you completely. You have the tools, you have the coaching. And these kinds of students go quickly in that direction to make them true everything they want from their twin flame in their eternal perspective, in divine love. Everything that their heart desires can come true here. But what often happens with people that quicken in that direction? Well, what happens is that their ego personality part of themselves is a little bit shocked by that it works, that they get the spaciousness of divine love, that they get the true romance actions that become real. And oh my gosh, is that bigger than they ever thought that it was, that it could be. And oh my God, is it more heart touching than they ever dreamt of. And it can be, in a sense, for the old ego personality that we actually need to leave behind, but that's often still plays a role for a little bit moving forward because you still work that saying goodbye to that part out for a part. That part may be still reacting like, oh my gosh, do I actually need to put my wall up because this is just immense? Do I actually need to create resistance because this is a lot? This is different. And people that go in the direction of instant twin flame healing, success, towards the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union that it is all about. And that is the foundation for building the romance and the family and the mission business with your true twin flame that you long for. When they get the harmonious union consciousness state, what can happen is that the ego personality of these people, my students, it has happened a couple of times. Sadly, they suddenly choose to go to the other direction and they throw themselves away. They trash what they had reached into the bin, into the trash can. There it is. I changed my mind. It felt big, it felt divine, it felt huge, but my ego personality cannot accept it yet. And therefore, thought it was a safe plan to trash it, to trash the results that I have, to trash the healing that I reached, to trash the identity of my true twin flame, to trash myself in the process, because you can't do anything else, because when your true twin flame has been put by the wayside, at the core, you are that as well, because that's the point of being twin flames. So you also put yourself like a trash bag by the wayside. So you trashed yourself. And moreover, some are in such a distress because their old self, their ego personality old self that is still in the process of saying goodbye to, couldn't take it any longer. And they believed in that part of themselves instead of the true union soul part of themselves. They believed suddenly more in their old ego personality selves than they believed in their new union consciousness self. They know that they reached this through working with me. That's what happened a lot of the time. And therefore, their ego personality that wanted to trash their twin flame, their results, their healing, and themselves, now also unconsciously wants to trash me and our community and our work. So they try to put me in the trash can as well. Might as well. If you're busy with trashing everything, you can trash me as well. You can try. Well, that never worked out, of course, because it is understandable, but oh so sad. It is a reaction of the primordial fear that is still lingering in and around you. And now you've just shifted your mind enough towards the direction of your ego personality that you believe in the fear. Now you believe in the fear. And you think that you are the fear, that you are the darkness. You think that you are the resistance. You think that you are this person that can make your own choices, be autonomous from God, have your own truth. And you forgot how you had surrendered to the divine and had sunken into being your sacred divine self. And that's what gave you, through your relationship with me, through the true twin flame inner work, that's what gave you all these results, all this healing, the true self, the true twin flame, the revelation of their identity. And on the horizon, or truly already made come true, the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union. So there can be this moment that people can be so confused about that. It's as if, you didn't fully install yet to jump into this surrender and never swim back, just completely sink to the bottom of that ocean and go live there. You didn't fully decide that yet. There was still a part of you that was part of being on the land, being in the ego personality that was autonomous, declared themselves separated from the divine, and declared themselves to be able to resist all this big divine love and sacred romance, and had the feeling that the sense of identity was being formed by resisting the divine romance. And what a good idea that we're standing here at the shore instead of in the ocean, resisting the water Yeah, we have all the power here. It's not the ocean that takes me over. I have the power. And I decide who my twin flame is. And I decide that my twin flame teacher was wrong. And I decide what God says and has as wisdom for me. I decide that. That's what the ego personality says. And yeah, that is still alive enough sometimes in the beginning that you can step back to that. And then as a result, you trash the true thing. You trash the true twin flame. You trash the true twin flame work. You trash what you reached. Maybe you had years that you worked on it together with me. Maybe even 5 years or so. Maybe you just spend all your money in it. Couple hundreds, couple thousands. So much money. And then you come at this point where everything starts to be given to you and you become loaded with the gold of the twin flame union. That is the true abundance that is actually opened up for you, because this journey is about opening up your complete abundance. Did you know that? On the energetic level, on the money level, on the physical level, on the love level, on the relationship level, on the family level, on the mission level, on the work level, on the material level, on the resources level. It's just the biggest abundance that is here for you, that your heart uniquely longs for. That's what the twin flame journey is about. That becomes unlocked through twin flame union and through nothing else. I promise you that. Nothing else can make that happen. And sometimes people have invested years of their lives, or maybe 9 months, which is a whole lot already, just like that, isn't it? And all that money. And when they get the real deal, when they get a taste of the true result, there comes the first taste of it. Oh my gosh. Sweeter than you ever could have imagined. I promise you that. Can you imagine that at that moment, that finally, after all these deeply emotional, filled with tears moments of inner work have passed, you went deeper and deeper. Evenings of crying have allowed you to let go of what was no longer needed. And then, after more and more of this true twin flame inner work and the upheaval that comes from it, and you let it all go. And then suddenly you truly arrive, and the first true taste of what it is all about comes into you, and you savor it until you change your mind and you go back on your results and you say, nah, yeah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not, and you just dump it all in the bin. All the money, all the time, gone. Your relationship with the teacher, ruined. All the wisdom that you got from the divine via the teacher, you just denied. All the many practical programs that have been laid out for you to take one after the other, beautiful programs that I design, especially for you. I do this for you. I make these programs for you because I know that's what you need. That's my professional, after decades of work, my professional opinion that this is what you need. These programs that I develop and bring out and lay in front of you so that you can take it and take another program and a new session and this reading as well. And you need the whole collection of everything that I provide because that will give you the full result. Easy enough. You buy everything that I have and you'll have twin flame union. That's how it works. And in time, I place this one and then I place another weekend workshop and then I design another thing that is so helpful for you. And I know that's especially for you, this would be so helpful to take next. That's why I bring this out. That's why I present programs and readings and sessions. Because I know that it will be beneficial for coming together in your union. And it is the divine itself that inspires me to bring that to you. That's my role. That's what I do on the internet. And then you sometimes see that people don't want to take that. And I give people the opportunity to start to work with me. I give people the free extra guidance for their mission. There's so many things that are possible there and that are so healthy to take because this is a whole new world that opens up for you in Twin Flame Union, in Harmonious Twin Flame Union, the consciousness state. It's a whole new world. You need to really get to know yourself in this new way. You need to really get to know the world in this new way. And I can give, and I constantly give people so many opportunities to make themselves at home in this new sphere and place. And work through the results of their own inner healing with more dimensions, with the opportunities that I give you. And I have seen that there are people that say no to that. And then you are lost in a world where there's no union consciousness. And you step into all these traps of all these other places and people and maybe even healing ideas and whatnot that are not it. Maybe they also have something of value to offer in another layer of life that is not twin flame specific, let alone union consciousness specific. And you quickly get lost because you're so new to the healing results that you have gotten. You're so new to the consciousness state of twin flame harmonious union that it will be quickly lost if you don't keep on holding on to all these anchors that I hand out and you instead trash them. Yeah, you'll get lost in the trash. You'll get lost in the trash. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to get lost in the trash. I don't want to see your union in the trash can. I want to see your union celebrated in the divine light that it deserves. I want to see your mission come to light and love in the light of truth, in the reality of the transformed world that you're now starting to build and create. You see, first you come in the consciousness state, and then this world is birthed through you, not the other way around. Yeah, that's the direction in which things go when you do it right. And I'm here to be in relationship with you through all these movements, through the newness of it all, so that you can truly feel at home in this consciousness that is here for twin flames to anchor themselves into so that they can start to truly build what you want to build all the time already. But I need you to not trash yourself. I need you to not go back to where you already had been. I need you to not shift back to believing in the ego personality. I need you to instead start all these processes and take my hand so that you can start to feel at home, to land in union consciousness. And that's what we're building together. And that's where our relationship really starts. And that's where it really becomes real, but also open and like maybe sometimes people feel it as vulnerable or they feel it as just also like strange and new. It is different. It does feel different. That's the whole point about twin flames. It feels different because it is different, because it is pure divine love, because that does a lot to you. That's the whole point. So there you go. So don't trash yourself because you are worth so much more. Let's expedite that for you together. I choose now the most complete depth of my being and to explore that. I surrender my mind completely to God that He may bring it into perfect harmony with His. I invite God now into my very core that He may make it right, returning it perfectly to its state of eternal wholeness. I trust in the power of divine love. I choose to see the truth that it is universally accepted by all. At the core of every child of God, including me, we're all one with our twin flames and God. It is safe for me to open completely to love now. My love, love is not elusive unless you command it so. But don't worry, you could not choose against love itself because you are love itself manifest as you, eternally. If you command it to leave, love does not leave because it cannot possibly leave. But you leave love by the power of your command. And by that same power, you can command yourself to return to love. And it is so revealing to you that love never left. It is safe to let go. It is safe to relax into love's eternal presence. Love is calling you home, and I'll be there waiting. I have always been here with you, and I always will be. Your next step. Don't forget to actually start the process and jump on the team. Actively come to our community, start doing the correct inner work, and ask the support you deserve through our services so that we can start a relationship that will lead you to harmonious union and beyond. When you're not in a relationship, you're not on the team, and you can't expect the results I'm speaking of and, in fact, guaranteeing. Currently, you are cordially invited to step into the group year course experience. This is the Twin Flame Mystery School you have been waiting for. I'm looking for 9 people to step into this abundant opportunity. Twin Flame Abundance now opens its doors on May the 1st. Start giving so that you can receive the doors. The door closes as soon as I have my 9 people that will be successful in their journey. But first, we dance towards the opening of the door together. Join the launch festivities of the Twin Flame Year Group Course of your dreams. Go to creativeuniverse.earth/abundance now launch or click the link in the description box. The show notes. You can, however, support this ongoing live Twin Flame News as such. Make it possible as co-creator. Without your participation and financial gifts, I cannot do anything. Because we need to have an energetic and verbal visual exchange for things to make sense and to know what I need to talk to you about. And also, we're on Earth, and that necessarily always works with money as a means to make sacred content actually physically flow. Have influence on the broadcasts. Don't miss out on the behind the scenes experience. Patreon.com/PEJ at Creative Universe, or click the link in the description box below. This month, the Patreon subscriber action is the 12 weekly key sessions for Twin Flame development for €499 instead of the normal already favorable deal of €700, normal price €792. If you like this, share it with a friend. Maybe someone else likes it too. I am Petra, in the consciousness state of Harmonious Twin Flame Union since March 2020, worked with the New Christ Masters on Earth right now to roll this consciousness state out so everyone can enjoy the abundant life with their true twin flame soon enough after going in with me right here. Don't search any further. You reached what you were looking for. Om. Amen.